Voilà. Hi everyone. Whoops. I have like cat issue. Um, Kitty didn't want me to start the video. So I hope you're doing well this lovely morning. And well, I know for some of you it's in the afternoon, and other people it's actually really too early. But good morning. Anyway, it's 11 o'clock here. Hi, Janet. Hi, Jill. Hi, Kim. Bonjour, Kim. So this is what we're gonna do today. Oh, and I just for like everybody's sake, like I'm totally sober. Like just had 2 drinks yesterday, so that's pretty good. So anyway, hi, Rosalind. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's actually a pretty simple card. It's just like mostly coloring, and I'm using pencil this morning. And I just like, sorry for the noise here. I just basically wanted to show people how you out of one 8.5 by 12 card, even if you use a slimline card, you can totally do another like perfectly good card with it. That's like still a good size. So with those two and that little blue part, if you remember yesterday's class, what was with the drunk disclaimer? It was my 50th birthday celebration yesterday. My birthday is actually on Wednesday, but like we celebrated yesterday. So I permitted myself to be roaring drunk, but I didn't. So, and that's okay. Oh, thank you, Kim. Your coloring is also like really good. We're all different in our we're all good in our own ways. So anyway, with one piece of like within 8.5 by 11, you can make like 2 cards, including a slimline. So that's pretty good. Thank you, Kim. So anyway, because I was getting tired of like doing slimline card and always having like little leftovers. So I started doing that, and that tape is to know, like, because yesterday I was like my camera was doing something funny, so I never know where to put my my center, so I put a little mark there. Yeah, I thank you, Rosalind. So anyway, beside the drinking and everything like that, I just want to mention that on this card, I actually added, after the pictures I took, I added a little like sky background, like quickly done with watercolor. So I'll show you at the end. It's not necessary. Hi, Jennifer. But thank you. And I just think it gives it a little pop. And what's going I think the good thing about, if you're using actual pencil paper, I'm just gonna show you what I use. It's Strathmore colored pencil. I get it at Michael's, right? And it's not quite watercolor paper. Well, obviously it's for pencil, but it does have that kind of like a little bit of texture. So if you put watercolor, it does work. It does, like, the paper doesn't go all pulpy. It just like glides on it. It's just, it does gonna wave more than your watercolor paper that's done for that. Hi, Mary Pat. With for each candle, that's a lot of wishes. I think one wish like is good, like health, right? I already have love, so everything else is like extra. But thank you. So yeah, all that to say that if you have like pencil paper, you can do watercolor. And what happened too is when you use your pencil, if you actually like get rid of all the little like white lines or white dots, it gets to be like waterproof. So you can put your like watercoloring all around it, and even if you go over it, you can just wipe it away and it will, because it's wax, right? So that's what I really, really like about mixing both like the watercolor and the pencil, just for the fact that I can do a super easy, like quick background. And like disclaimer, it won't ever be as pretty as Melanie. I'm not like that talented with watercolor, but just to slap some like color, just to add a little like tint, I think it works great. Anyway, so instead of just blabbering forever, I'll just go on. I did that yesterday too. So here we go. That's what you all need. Like I said yesterday, you use part of a blue sheet. Basically today you're using the rest of it. So it's 4 by 8, and you just fold it in half at 4 inches. So that's your card base. Then you have the, I call it preserve paper. So this one is, I should have checked here, 3¼ by 3¼ So you have this, and then you have like 3 dots. You have some twine. I think it was a middle one, but honestly, I'm not too sure. Middle thin one, I think. And there's 2 puffy stickers. I'm not sure what they're called, but like the Simple Life. And I thought it was awesome because it's like an extra like crafty dot. But anyway, and then the cornstalk, and then your image. Your image, you're putting it on a paper that's 2 3/4 by 3¼ And what happened is I put a line at 2 3/4 here, because what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna like color do everything, and then we're gonna cut it, and then like just the tine of the fork is gonna stick out. So, and also something, I don't know if you guys like actually read the instruction or whatever, but in this card, like I added like a red cardstock. It's not part of the kit. I don't know if there was enough paper, like cardstock to do that. I figure most people should have like red cardstock in their scrap, because it's not really a big piece. It's 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Basically, it's just enough to go around like the edge. But if you don't have it, it's fine. What you do is you just take your, well, in this case, like ruby red, and you go around your paper just like that. So it gives you that fake, like, kind of like framing. And you can do it bigger or not. So either you use this or you do like this technique of like going around it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put that aside, and we're gonna start coloring. And I did use to stamp, I use a Sandy Shore. In the tutorial, I did use peachy. My gosh, my. Oh, you did, Mary Pat? Good. Just a sec. I'm gonna check the name of it. I used Pretty Peach. So, and it gives more of a no line effect, like more so a no line effect. But with the Sandy Shore, you get like pretty good results also. But like with the Party Peach, because it's so much lighter, it's harder on the eyes, and sometimes my eyes are not thanking me so much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna zoom in a bit so you can see me coloring. And oh, please work. And that's Chewy saying hi. So here we go. I think that should be good there. Oh my gosh. Hi, Ellie. Yeah, like I have a really, really needy cat that, anyway. So obviously I'm using this stamp set. I think they're so adorable. It's a crafty comeback. So you have Lexi, and you actually have 2 Lucas. So that's pretty cool with the horse. And I just thought the pig was so cute. And because it was such a small card, hi Laura, that's why I used the pig one, because it's the smallest one. So it looks really nice on a 4x4 card. So let's get started. I'm going to start with, we're going to start with is, it doesn't really matter what we start with, honestly. Actually, you know what we're going to start with? we're gonna start with putting stickles around the edge. I'm gonna put some around this, but at the end when I'm done coloring, obviously, because you can't, I mean, you have to wait it for it to dry. So I use like unicorn. It doesn't really matter. I know, Jill, it's adorable. So I'm just gonna put it around this edge. Any like kind of a clear set of stickle is perfect. So like diamond or stardust or crystal, or like there's so many. And I just use the edge of the paper as my stop, like the nozzle, like I just like put it there, and then I just like wait till I see it in the nozzle, like going on the paper, whoops, and then I just go down. And it's just super easy. Like I made a mess here, but, and then, and inside of like a minute, I have like all four edges done. So I'm just gonna put it away, like far away, so I don't put my big fat hands in it. There we go. I have my stickle drawing station in my craft room. Anyway, okay, here we go. So back to Lucas. Excuse me. So we're gonna start with, actually, the kind of the hardest part, like what I did is, I don't know if you can see, is I actually give him eyes. So I like to have like him bright eye. So we're gonna start with the skin. So I'm just gonna get my color, because right now I just put them all in a cup, and I have to find them again. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna use burnt ochre, peach. Those are my original, like 35 years ago. I think more than that. Anyway, light peach and eggshell and a little bit of white. And, well, I mean, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna map his face, just like I did yesterday with what's like the little guys from Netta. So basically, like I go from the nose to his eyebrow, like I do kind of a curve. So I'm using a peach right now. I'm not using the darkest color, and I'm not putting much pressure on it too. So just a line. I don't think you can see that, gosh. And I think that's as zoom as I can be. Anyway, I don't want to put it too dark. And then you do the same, like this one, the eyebrow, I kind of like try to finish his eyebrow, and I do the same on the other side. And now I have to create eyes, right? Because right now it's like he only has like what's like brown, what I stamp, I'm gonna use as is pupil, like the black. So what I do is I just do like half moon on top of it, just like that. I don't know if you can see, like that. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm just gonna continue with that's burnt ochre here. And I'm lefty, so I always have like a piece of paper under my hand, because otherwise I'm gonna make a mess. And I forgot to get out, like I use, when you brush, like if there's little pieces, if you brush, use a brush, not your hand, because you're gonna smear all over it. I know, I've done it. So don't forget, you have to color also his arm and his hand here. So I just go around, and I made sure that like my pencil were sharpened really nicely before I started. And don't put too much pressure, especially on the first pass. Because to be able to blend your color with pencil, you have to be very light-handed. So you can do like little rounds if you want. And for his face and his ear, like I press a little bit harder because that line, I do want it to, like, it's gonna be that color. Like sharp edges, I usually like press a little bit harder. I'm gonna leave the top of his ear darker right here under his hat, and beside his hairline would be darker. And then like the roundness of his face would be a little bit darker because it's further away. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press, like, I don't want that line to disappear, because with pencil you can actually make almost the line disappear, because it's just like beside, like compared to Copic, that is gonna be kind of semi-transparent anyway. So is other ear, just like that. So that was the first color. Then I'm gonna go to peach. So, and then what I do is I go over the previous color I just put down and do a little circle, and I extend the color. I hope you can see enough. I know like it's very little, and like with pencil I can put a lot more detail than with Copic, just because like the point is so much smaller, right? Oh, and also, like, I totally forgot, like, is the neck. So just gonna put some, like, I just went back with the burnt ochre to put some color under his neck. So extended here, his ear. And you know you have 4 colors, so you have to leave room for, like, all the colors, basically. And one thing I totally forgot. Oh, are you, Annabella? Awesome. It was a lot of coloring. Like, I think the video was 2 hours and 38 minutes. I did it on my own in 2 hours, but I didn't have, like, I mean, I didn't talk or anything. But it is a lot of coloring. So I'm using burnt ochre back to redefine the eyes, because I kind of, like, just want to make sure I see them. Hi, Laura. Dot. Okay. So just little rounds around where I put the burnt ochre. And then I'm gonna go also around the eyes. And oh my gosh, I'm okay. And I just had it like burnt ochre, like the tip of his nose, basically. So under his nose gonna be a little bit darker. Like the tip of his nose gonna always be the lightest, because that's what's sticking out. I wish mine wasn't sticking out so much, but hey, that's light peach. That's another story, right? So just extending a bit again from the previous, doing little circles and not pressing like super hard, because if you press too hard you won't be able to blend, because you're just gonna Laura, hi Rona. Yeah, if you press too hard with pencil, what happened is that the paper can't take anymore, so it doesn't blend at all. In Copic, usually what happens if you put too much color, I call it piling, and then it gets really sticky, and like, so it's different effect with pencil and Copic or alcohol marker. Chewy. Gosh, that cat, like if I don't brush him, he's gonna throw his brush on the ground. Like I say, really needy. There we go. And sometimes what I do is I'm gonna take my white, and I know I want the tip of my nose to be white, so to make sure I don't put color, I'm just gonna put white fairly, like with like a bit of pressure, so like that the paper has like won't be able to accept another color. And I'm gonna do that also around his eye, like on top, so like that, even if I make mistake, it won't put color. You don't have to do the eyes if you don't want to, okay? Now I'm using the last color. It's Eggshell. So basically going over everywhere. And it gives more of a, like, kind of a yellow tinge compared to all the peaches. So together it gives like more natural, I was going to say hair color, but it's a skin color. Just like that. And then you just get color. So what I'm gonna do is, like, sometime I'm like, okay, I didn't put enough like dark or whatever, and because you didn't put that much pressure, you can readjust what you've just done. So I'm just gonna put a second coat, just also to put all the pulp, like the grain of the paper, down, so I don't have like a little white spot. So just going between his fingers. And here's the hand there, his arm. And I always try to have the elbow like lighter because it's gonna be sticking out, so it's gonna probably catch the light more. So obviously under, like inside his ear, it would be darker. And under the hat. But again, I don't completely like give full pressure because you won't be able to blend it with the other color. Let's not forget the neck, which I keep forgetting. Usually it's the ears I forget. His little nose. His eyes. And then I go to peach. So I do put a little bit more pressure than the first time. But still, like, I want to be able to blend the next color. His neck. So I don't know if you guys are using pencils or you're going with Copic or even watercolor. Like, all of those classes can, like, you can interchange like medium, basically. I know Marianne, I don't think she's here right now, but she has really strong reaction with the, like, the smell of Copic, so she doesn't use Copic at all. So usually it's like with more pencils. I don't know if anybody, like other people, have like adverse reaction. So now I'm light peach, using light peach. And like what I was saying, that my pencil, like the pencil with the purple stickers, they're 35 years old. Actually, they're probably more like 40 years old. It's the pencil I actually had when I was younger, like in elementary school, younger. And since like I'm gonna be 15 in a couple of days, yeah, they're really old pencils. I think like they're almost antique, which is sad to say for pencil. But at that time they were made in Canada, so they're... Hey, Marianne! I didn't know you were here. I didn't see you come in. It's funny, I saying that like in a virtual group. I didn't see you coming. So now I'm using, oh sorry, eggshell. And then just filling the other spot and going over everything. So what I'm gonna do is, like, I know my, like, it's mostly all like pressed down, the little like white spot. So I'm just using the darkest, like, so that's burnt ochre, and I'm going back just to add more definition. Because to have like a good, like to have volume to your image, to create volume out of a flat paper, you need like sharp contrast. So don't be afraid to put dark. I kind of lost like the arch. There we go. So it looks kind of funny. Hi, Patty. Yeah, I know. Like, what is it 9:25 or 8:25 in Alberta? I always get confused. I think it's 2 hours, but anyway. So Milo Lucas his face is done. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put his hair. I just used 2 colors because there's so little of it, and I just have to find it. Sorry. So it's dark umber and light umber I'm using. There we go. $2. Okay, that's what I thought. So, like, obviously, like under the ad, it would be darker. So he has like kind of like little tufts here and there for his hair. And I don't blend hair. I just do like flick, just like I do with Copic. So, and like I say, it's very, very little hair, right? So, I mean, it's hidden mostly by the hat. I'm not saying that like Lucas is like bald or anything. It's just that a lot of his hair is hidden. And then light umber. So just little flicks. Try to do like the best you can. I know it's hard, like it's really not a whole lot of hair here. And you can totally leave some white in there. If you leave white though, just one thing, if you want to do watercolor after for the sky, just remember that. So don't put blue in his hair. Just FYI. So that's his hair. And I'm going to do quickly his eyes. It won't be very complicated. Again, it's just like I put my pencil in a big pile there, so I have to go through everything every time. Sorry. So you can hear like all the pencil like moving around. Okay, so I'm gonna give him blue eyes just because I'm using blue. Like out of all the color in there, I don't think I want him to have pink eye or black eye or yellow eye or red eye. So it's really blue. So I'm gonna use the second darkest color, periwinkle. Anyway, and I'm gonna go over what was already like stamped and maybe a tiny bit bigger, but I want to leave some white around, like the white I put earlier. So I just put that, and actually I didn't press too hard, so I'm just gonna put like a little bit of the lightest blue. And what you can do is you take a dark eyeliner. Don't forget though, like one thing is like that's like wax, like I already mentioned. So when you put the like dark, like you put his pupil, so just put a like a kind of a dot whatever in it. Let it dry, because if I go like that right now, I'm gonna smear it all over the place. I know I've done it. So, and we're gonna wait till it dries, so I'm gonna go like somewhere else. But I'm gonna put a white dot, but I'm waiting for the black to be dry before I put the white dot, and then the white dot has to dry before I touch it. Like, you get the point now. So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to, since the blue is out, I'm gonna go and do his suspenders. So don't forget, the suspender does include is like the little like anybody French here, the bretelle. Like I have a blank, and I had the same blank yesterday. Anyway, these parts, and obviously behind here. So I'm starting with my darkest color, which is, oh, that's black, sorry. Good thing I'm showing you my colors. Indigo blue, that's gonna be better. So, and everything that's behind, straps, yeah, fair enough, straps. Thanks, Janet. So I'm putting the indigo blue behind, like, because the pig is casting a shadow, right? And this leg is behind this leg, so it would have a shadow from the other leg, just like that. And this part of his pant is like bigger than this one, so it would cast a small shadow here. And I don't know if you see that there's a little bump in the drawing. So what I do is actually put little lines up and down. So this part's gonna be like darker because it's lighter because it's sticking out basically. And here it's like the pants are kind of folded, or like there's a crinkle crease, so I put like kind of a soft V in there or something like that. So under the other leg, so obviously again, like behind the pig, it's all gonna be darker. Around the edge it's always darker just because it's further away because it's round, right? Again, right here you can have a little shadow because that's sticking further out. And one thing I want to say, especially like with pencil, because I won't be, I will barely be able to see the line even if it's brown. So I don't want to put, I know here would be darker usually, but I already have darker here, and because that's more in the shadow, what I do is I put a line like parallel to it, but I leave a white line. So I'll show you what I did here. See how there's a white line here? So like that, there's a different, like you see there's a like a contrast, like, but you know there's two pant leg. If I put dark here, like real, oh my god, right beside the other dark, it's gonna go like one big leg. So that's why I put a little line there to differentiate it. Oh my god. So at the bottom would be darker just because it's the bottom, and on this side. So that's like his pant leg. For the straps, there's not much of it, but over the pig, like the pig would cast a shadow, and under his chin, and the same on the other one. So you don't put very much. So now I'm gonna go to the second color. It's a periwinkle. So what I do, same thing, going over and extending the color a bit, and I'm not putting much pressure again, right? Because you want to be able to blend it. So just a little circle, and it's not a small image, but I think all the details are small. So you don't want to put too much color of each, especially if you have to put like 4 different color. So just a little round, not much pressure. And here, excuse me, kind of forgot, it's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna put a line, so I'm gonna have white to separate the two legs. Now I go to the third color. It's blue slate. So, and the strap, like honestly, you don't have much room to put the last color. Plus, it's gonna be in the shadow a lot, so it's okay if you can't put all the colors. So for the pants here, continue going around and extending the color with little round. Don't forget you have a last color to put in. And if you notice, I didn't put any color in that bump. I'm just gonna put the lightest color, so. Just go on like that. And then your lightest color is cloud blue. So just fill in, like still have to go over everything and fill in what you didn't touch yet. I do leave the line white here, but you can actually use the lightest one because you're still gonna see the difference. So it's really up to you. I like the sharp contrast, so I just leave it white. Now we're just starting. We have to do another coat, right? It's way too light. There's not much contrast. So again, with a tiny bit more pressure this time, but still not a ton because you won't be able to blend the colors within each other. So you just follow what you already did, basically. The second time it's harder. Like, basically, the part that's the hardest is to map it the first time with your darkest color, because after that you just extend everything. So it's not that bad. And like I mentioned with the face, you can readjust now, like if you want it more like darker or something like that. Either you're all like asleep or you're all really busy coloring. That's a funny thing. Like, I can't wait for next fall with the in-person retreat. We can talk like back and forth. I just feel I have to fill all the space with like chatter, but then like I don't have really anything intelligent to talk about, so I just blab. So I hope I'm not like boring you to death or something. So now I'm with Periwinkle. Again, going over. And my very favorite color, like, I mean, my favorite color is purple in general, but my very favorite pencil is indigo blue. When I was little, like, it was the one that was always the shortest one. Are you? Awesome. Roseland, you stamp with Party Peach. What do I do around the pen scuff where I'm supposed to leave white? Oh, same thing. It's gonna be even more like better because you won't have the brown line showing, so it's gonna make for a really, really nice no line coloring. I hope it helps, Rosalind, or I answered the question. So now I'm going with, yeah, Jill, you're busy coloring, blue slate. So again, go over. And I can feel it, like, just looking at what I'm done so far, I'm gonna have to do a third coat. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes if you, depending how much pressure you put, you can have to go like a third time. You love the sound of my voice. Oh my gosh, you're probably the only one. Thank you. So that's cloud blue. It's the lightest one here. And you can go like put a bit more pressure. You could actually, if you wanted, you could put like that color over everything and like put more pressure to fill all the little white spot. But the thing is, it will lighten up considerably your pants. So what I want to do is, I'm just going back again with indigo blue. I know it's like a lot of like going, and I'm definitely putting more pressure now, but I don't want his jeans to be washed out or like from the 80s, you know, stonewash, that's what it's called. So I'm just putting more pressure now. Because I know I've done a lot of the blending anyway, so even if I press harder now, it's it's fine. Soothing, Annabella? As long as it's not like a screeching voice. Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. So now it's the periwinkle. Thank you. You're all so nice. Everybody's like, it's the best group ever, honestly. Then blue slate. And don't be worried that like it's different. Everybody's gonna be different. Like this image and the other one I colored like for the sample is not even colored exactly the same. And I think that's what's fun, because like you're never gonna have exactly the same piece. So now that's cloud blue. No, that's me screech when I shop the box at deal. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I shop the box. Good thing it's not in person, because like I'm gonna swear and I'm like, oh no, I missed it. So yeah. And the first few time I was teaching, like that was way back in Halifax, and it was like in a store, like a local store. Oh my gosh, like I've been in the military for a very long time. Like I'm retired now, but yeah, I was like doing a disclaimer at the beginning. It's like, okay, I've been in military very long. I'm French. I swear, and sometimes I swear in French. So now I'm better at not swearing. So that's his jeans. So I know we're not like it's 40 minutes in and we've only colored his skin and jeans, but that's okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do, like, it doesn't matter which order you do anything, so that's why I'm like okay, let's do the wood, because it's kind of like boring-ish a bit. Like we're gonna do the handle. So it's dark brown, light umber, and beige. Just have to find my beige here. Oh my gosh, it's a mess. Here we go. Swearing is all right. I like if Rona is still here, she would remember, because I think she took a couple of my classes in Halifax. Like I met her there. So yeah, something else. So that's, oh sorry, that's dark brown. So under is Anne here would cast a shadow, and because of the roundness of the no, I was going to say stick, it's not a stick, but each side would be darker, and the middle part here I'm not coloring. I'm gonna do, to me it's like a silver part, not silver, but it's gonna be the same color as the tin. So between his face and like the top of the head of the pig is gonna be darker. Whoops. And then at the top, what I did is I figured that this little part, but you can, like, that's the thing with image and with creation and stuff like that, you can decide whatever you want, right? But I decide that that little part here is in wood, and this part is the sleeve that holds the metal, so that's also metal here and there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use light umber and just extend a bit the color. Because it's wood, it's okay if there's marks or if it's not blended perfectly. And I know there's not much room, right? So then that's beige, and just go over it, fill that middle there, and we're gonna do it again. Thanks, Rona. Yeah, I think it's more than one slip through, but I'm getting much better now. Plus, the thing is, like, when you're doing the in-person thing, you can always say, no, it never happened. But now it's taped, so I really have to be careful because people can say, no, we have proof. So, yeah. So anyway, that's dark brown. So just going over, putting some more pressure. When it's smaller details like that, I don't mind going like a little bit more pressure because I don't want to do like 5 coats for something that's so small. And also know that the blend for this one is not so bad because, again, like, it's wood, so it can have grain and stuff like that. It probably won't have as much as yesterday the fence because it was plank, so there was like more room to put a lot of detail. That's the beige, but it's okay if it's not blended like all the way. There's just one thing when you're doing that, like I say, it's not important if it's not blended. The thing is, the grain of the wood would be this way. You wouldn't want to do it this way. It just would look wrong. So that's the thing, whatever, the handle. So what we're gonna do is oh, good thing with the pencil is if you I call it pile the color enough, is it won't bleed, like even if you attach it to something else. So what we're gonna do is a shirt. And a shirt, like, there's also a very, very small bit that's here, just so you know, like on the other side of his handle, straps, I mean, here, there's over there on this side, and obviously here. So I'm just gonna go do this, and the darkest color, sorry, is Tuscan red. So I honestly just gonna put full-blown like pressure there. I won't put any other color. There's not room to put any more color, and it's so much in the shadow that it would be the darkest one. Whoops, here we go. Here, like over the rest of it though, I'm putting a very light pressure. Okay, over the head would be darker with a shadow, and then around his ear at the bottom, and I'm just rounding it up, but not all the way. Like, I'm leaving the top of the shoulder lighter because it would catch the light. And for his hat, what I'm gonna do is, I don't want those lines to disappear once again, so I'm going like actually quite like a lot of pressure, and I'm just going over the lines so I know they're still gonna be there when I'm done. And what I'm gonna do is, it's gonna be darker on both sides just because of, again, the roundness, so it's the furthest away. So I'm putting color there, and at the bottom, because I figure in my head that this one the third color for the red, oh, did I forget Tuscan? Oh my gosh, I did. I think I'm missing 2 colors. Okay, it's Tuscan red, the first one. After that, it's Crimson Lake. I'm so sorry, Janet, and everybody. Then after that, it's Scarlet Red. And then I use Carmine Red. If you don't have those exact color, the red actually do blend really well, like pretty much all of them. It's just like my go-to color, but sometimes if the pencil are too short, then I switch to another one to kind of make them equal. So sorry about that. So yeah, what I was saying is that I figured that this part of the hat is like kind of like billowing, and it's like going over the strap a bit. So at the bottom, I put a little bit of the Tuscan red. So then after, I'm gonna go to Crimson Lake, and then again I'm gonna go over what I've just done and extend a little bit. Same thing here, and I think you can see the tip of the pencil moving like it's broken. I know it. My watch just told me I was fat and lazy to get up. Whoops, oh my gosh, look at that. Yeah, when you don't put much pressure, it doesn't matter if it's broken. Okay, so again, just extending a bit, not putting much pressure here. And if you only have like 3, you can totally do like with 3. It's such a small surface that it's okay. Yeah, I know, because it's 10-2, right? So so scarlet red is next. So again, on the side first and at the bottom, and here, like under, like over the head, there's no room really for 4 colors. So, and then the last color, carmine red. So just putting it everywhere and on his shoulder, because there's no room otherwise. So I'm going back second round, Tuscan red. I think it takes longer just because like I talk, like when I'm doing it on my own, it's not too bad. So now like we're gonna try to get all those white little lines and things to squish down. So I'm just going over where I went with a tiny bit more pressure. But again, not going full on, because you won't be able to put the other colors. So that's Crimson Lake. Oh, my broken one. Sometimes I put crazy glue to glue the tip. Oh my gosh. Especially my original color. I want to keep them like longer because they're really good. After that, scarlet red. There we go. Just like that. And then, oh, the numbers of the missing are like scarlet red is 923. And the other one, carmine, is 926. Look, like I say, if you don't have those ones, honestly, like I don't have my pencils beside me, but most of them would work. Like I said, they all work super good. Right now what I'm doing is I'm just leaving a tiny little bit, like not squished down completely. Like technical term is squished down, and I'm just putting some white. So that's my very top highlight. And I'm gonna do the same thing in the center here. You don't have to, but, and white usually trumps other colors. So even if like it's all, whoops, completely piled down, no problem, Maripat. It's still gonna go over. So now you have the red done. Put them away. We're gonna do the black. So I'm using cool grays, well, black and cool grays. Most of the time I'm using cool grays for stuff man-made, like boots and stuff, and I'm using warm gray for like animals and things. Or if I have 2 of an animal and like 2 bunnies and I don't want them to be exactly the same, I'm gonna do one like warm gray and the other one cool gray. So I'm starting with black. So what I'm gonna do is, and we're gonna do the same technique as like leaving that line there for the boots. So this boot is in front of this one, so it's gonna cast a shadow on this one. And I'm gonna do like, whoops, there we go. Like it's gonna be darker at the bottom, but these lines, I don't want them to disappear, so I'm gonna do the same thing I did on the hat. I'm gonna like press really hard with my black and put them here. And what I mean by disappearing is when you blend, sometimes things like disappear. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other boot. Do those lines really dark. It's a good thing I'm zoomed in because I think you would see my hair and everything like that. I did the lazy thing this morning. I didn't even like comb my hair or anything. So just put a little bit of black at the bottom. Same thing here because it's the most bottom at the bottom of the sole, so it would be darker. Then over the sole, like the boot part per se, putting some black here too. And a little bit, but not all the way to the top, because the top would be the lightest. It would catch the light. Here, the crease will be darker. So I'm putting light, and it's gonna create some kind of like shadow here. So I'm putting the black. For the other boots, now, like I mentioned, I'm gonna have to leave a white part at the top of the boot also. And that crease, like that big part is casting a shadow behind, so that would be like all pretty much darker. Don't forget to leave that little sliver of white there. And for here, you want basically the top here, that's going to be lighter. If you want to make sure that you don't like screw it up, first of all, we put that with red, so make sure that your white is completely white, not red. I did that yesterday. Jamie's all day today. I showered and dressed, and I'm not there yet. So put white just around white and press hard so it's gonna stay white. So it's just a little trick like that. So just gonna put black here, and again leave that slight piece of white here. The lightest the ink you use for your stamping, the better it is to do that. Okay, so I'm going 70% cool gray. I just skipped the 90% because it's really, really close to black. And then I just go over my black and extend it a bit. And again, not full pressure. Under the sole. And I'm putting a line here too, because otherwise you're going to mistake it with the back of the boot. Not the back of the boot, but the straight part of the boot that's hidden. After that, it's 50% cool gray. Same. And here I can do the same thing, like it's going to be on the longer side for the white here. So, and I know you can't really see the white, but you can see what I'm doing with my pencil. And you can see like right now, like, sorry, that's 30%. I'm just like putting it where I didn't like, and remember, like, even if I want to go over that white, it's not really letting me. Like, I mean, if I press hard enough, it will, but it's just a reminder. And right here, my white is here. So right now it looks more like gray boots than black. So we're just gonna darken all of that. Sorry. So back with my black. So a little bit more pressure. And sometimes when I'm lazy and I don't want to do like 3 coats, I use like a bit more pressure, but I'm used to it and I know what I can get away with. with like with pressure and with being able to blend still. So I think at the beginning it's always better to do more coats and blend it than to try to rush it. So like I said, just going over what I already did. So 70%. And obviously if you want it to look black, you do have to put more of the darker color, like to give the illusion of black. The thing is, you don't want to lose the details either. So that's why it's like a fine balance, like especially black is. It's like white. If you don't want it to look gray, you have to put darker color, but you have to put it strategically. So that's 50% gray. Like I decided now that like I'm just gonna put just like the lightest color on the soles. It's gonna be 50%. I won't put 30%. And on my 30%. And just filling in. I totally forgot the white there. Good thing it kind of stopped me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with my black, because it just seems like there's places I'm missing, like the details. And sometimes you just want it blacker than black. And just to blend quickly, the 70. So we'll leave it like that. And what we're going to do is we actually going to do actually, we're going to do the pig's feet because they're black too. Well, I decided they were black. I'm not too sure. Like, I mean, I am a city girl, or if not a city, anyway, I'm not a country girl, that's for sure. So I never seen real pig except like in movies and stuff, and cartoon a lot. And here, this leg is behind this leg. So here it would have a shadow from the other leg. And here, once again, we're going to put a little line to be able to distinguish it from the other little leg. So we're going to go 70%. And, excuse me, 50%. Since it's like really, like it's not a big surface, we'll skip the lightest color here. So just going back. And again with 70. And with 50%. Oh, is there another class starting at noon? I'm not too sure. So that's it for his little feet. So what we're gonna do is the 10 time. So we're gonna start with 70 because I want it to be silver more than, I don't want it to be black. So there's that little part here. There's this part that attaches it in my head anyway. And then I'm gonna go around it. Again, he's on the pressure. Gonna go to so loud earbuds the whole time. Real pigs are huge, bigger than me. No, that's are, yeah. But it was an eye opener. I had to go to a pig barn at school. Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know. No, next class that one. Oh, okay, awesome. So that's 50%. So again, just put it beside the one we just put down. Obviously, like the skinnier part, you won't have room to put it. And then we finish with 30%. I didn't know that pigs would be loud. Actually, I never really thought about it, but... And then same thing. Start again, so you're 70%. And I'm gonna press like fairly hard, like these parts, because like it's the only color that's there, so it doesn't have to blend with anything but itself. But wherever I can blend with another color, that's where you have to be careful. So 50%. And last 30%. So there we go. So we have his hat and the pig left to do. Oh, and a little bit of the grass, but not much. We're almost done. We're getting there. So we're gonna go with the pig. I had to do like lots of trial and error. I didn't want him to be like pink, like cartoon pink. So anyway, I decided on henna, blush pink, and deco peach. But once again, you can do whatever you want, like colors. Oh, and one thing I totally forgot to do, like his eyes. Actually, I'm gonna do them at the end. It's okay. So I don't want to lose his eyebrows. So what I do is I press hard here for his little eyebrows. And the same thing with his mouth. So I just go over. So I know now that they won't disappear with the blending and everything. So under his ear would be darker. It's casting a shadow there. The roundness of his face. Here, like, I won't put color on the face, like at the bottom, the darkest one, because it's gonna blend with under his neck. So under his neck would be darker, definitely, because his head is a head. His head is a head. Haha. Sorry. Sometimes I find myself funny. like to me, like this line doesn't have anything to do with the pig, so I don't like ignore it. It's easier if it's paler, but that's okay. Behind this leg, it's gonna be darker because it's in front of the body, and the arm of the boy is actually casting a shadow. Between his two paws here, we're gonna do the same trick like with a little line. Just like that. And his tail, I'm actually gonna go darker just like I did his eyebrows. Oh yeah, Janet, sorry. It's Anna. Did I actually forget that too? Oh my gosh. Wow. Blush pink and deco peach. I think what happened is like I was doing it and then I went squirrel when I was writing the tutorial and I totally like spaced out and I forgot to finish. And sorry, his ears here, there's a little like fold kind of. And so I'm so sorry about that, like girls. So I'm going to blush pink. Oops, actually I'm going to Anna because I forgot about his little nose. So here. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of color on his ears. Below his nose, around his little head, and below his ears. Now we're gonna go under his neck, basically extending like everywhere where I put color. Totally ignoring that line there. Hopefully it's gonna disappear. Just like that. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, sorry, numbers. Yeah, 1031, 928, and 1013. Thank you, Janet. You're a peach. Hey, we're using Deco Peach. Okay, so now I'm just using it like everywhere else where I didn't put color yet. And we're gonna go back anyway. Okay, so I'm going back to with Anna. I can't believe like how much detail there is on that image. It's crazy. So behind, below his head. Mary Pet, I'm sure Janet says thank you. You're welcome. Anyway, you know what I mean. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot his little butt. Whoops. So just like quickly like putting, oh my gosh, that was okay. So that's the first coat for his butt. I'll put, there we go. Now I was at blush pink. That's the thing, like I was saying earlier, if we're in person it would be like so much easier for the communication, right? But hey, at least we can do something, so that's the important thing, right? So just expanding on, like putting a little bit more pressure and going over the previous color, the henna. And trying to remove those pesky white line and white dots that are everywhere. And then going with the Deco Peach. Oh, that's okay, Janet. And like I have a progressive glasses, so I just use the same, but I would love to not have to wear glasses when I'm coloring. Like I was saying yesterday, I have magnifying glass light, and it's for painting miniature figure because I'm a dork. And but I figure, hey, if I can use it for like that, I can certainly use it for like to do these guys, like for my cards. And man, does it make a huge difference. But right now, like, I'm not using it because like it would be in the way, and I think you would just see my image through a magnifying glass. Like, I think it would just be the weirdest thing. And I think the camera would flip. Now I'm just trying to like kind of get rid of the little the white dots. That's the thing. If you're using a normal paper, like the same paper you use for Copics or whatever, usually those dots are a lot easier to squish down. Now I'm like on my third coat with henna, basically. But with like watercolor, if you're using watercolor paper to do pencil, oh my gosh, you're gonna do a lot of coat because the grain is so much bigger. And I'm so hungry, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I don't know if you can hear my stomach. Oh wow, I think the more I say I'm hungry, the worse it is. Okay, and I just went like a third time basically over the little pig. That's what I just did. Sorry, I wasn't talking, like saying which color I was using, but it's the same 3 color. I just want to, like I'm saying, I want those white spots gone. There we go. Good enough. Oops. And whoops. So what I'm gonna do, and you can still like really, really close up, you can still see white, but I mean, that's really close up, so that's fine. And for his eyes, the little pig, what I do is I give him a little bit bigger eyes, but you still want to have, like, you don't want to make one big eye, so you still leave room in between the 2 eyes. And don't forget, don't like swipe it because it will smear. So now we're gonna go with the hat. I'm keeping it for last because I had so much fun doing it. So what color? Yeah, that's what I thought. Use brown ochre, goldenrod, yellow ochre, and canary yellow. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go eat after, right? So we'll start with the burnt ochre. And what I wanted to do is, like, I'll just show you the one I did earlier. Like, I thought it was such a big add fun, and it had like lots of room to put texture or fold. So I just added everywhere I saw a little like detail in the drawing, like here. So what I do is I just extend it. So it's like the hat has like a wrinkle or something. And right here, the same thing here, put a big wrinkle. And here there's a dip. So what you do is you kind of like do kind of a triangle to it. You just add to it. And here it would be darker because like the red band would kind of like create a shadow. Same thing here, there's a dip. So I'm adding like a triangle. I'm going just around the edge in general There's a dip here, so another little triangle. There's a dip here, another triangle. And at the edge, it would just be a bit darker. And here too. Just a bit like that. So you can see that you just created like a lot of like movement in your hat just by adding those little thing. And now what I'm doing is I'm using goldenrod and I'm just extending, going over just like the other colors. Just like that. And over those triangle, keeping the shape of the triangle. And now we're gonna go to yellow ochre. Oops. Same. Just a little round, but like over it, but keep extending like those triangle a bit more. Just like that. Same thing with the top of the hat, the triangle. And now we're using canary yellow, the last color. And just going over everywhere. It's like the last color is always the easiest, right? You just like go and go at it. So I'm going back with my burnt ochre. A little bit more pressure. Again, my watch telling me to get my fat ass up. And the top of the hat. Just like that. Then the golden ochre. A little bit more pressure, but I mean, you can put more pressure where the burnt ochre is, but where it's going to the lightest color, because you still have to blend, you don't want to put too much pressure. And I don't know if you remember me saying like I put like crazy glue to glue the tips when they break off. The thing is, you can't write with crazy glue, and I'm about like at golden ochre. It probably broke a while back, and now I'm at the crazy glue part, and I have to turn the pencil because depending where it is, it's where the crazy glue is. So yeah, not always the brightest idea I got, but you know, you just have to turn it. And I feel good at the moment that I didn't like waste the whole tip. There's another trick, like if it bugs you, like all the little white dots, what you can do is use the blender, Prismacolor blender. I'm going at yellow ochre. And you can go over everything. Just make sure that it will put the colors together. So make sure you go in the right direction. Like say from dark to light to push it together, but it will remove all the white after a bit, right? It's like adding more color without adding the color. You're just filling the gaps with wax, clear wax. But now what I'm trying to do is with this one, I'm trying, like where I went already with the darker, I'm trying to go back and filling all that little white gap. Oh, that's Onyx. Hello, Onyx. That's my little whiny cat coming. As you can see here, I mean. So canary yellow, last color. So just going over everything. So at the beginning of the video, it was like Chew, and now it's Onyx. We have two cats. And here in the middle, I just decided that it's lighter, so I'm just going to keep it lighter. So I'm going to mix like basically my white with a bit of yellow to blend it. So it's like an extra light highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the grass. And it's really not complicated. So I'm using 3 colors. I always use 3 colors or 4, it seems. This is olive green, lime peel, and chartreuse. Onyx. So what I do is I just like go a little bit behind his boots and put a line. I should really use a ruler because I suck at doing anything straight, but that's okay. And then just put a little bit just like that. And it's just a patch, like I'm not doing it the whole thing. Then I'm going to use lime peel and just go over it a bit. And I'm not covering all the white dots for that, because it's really more of an impression of grass than like a full-blown coloring there. And finish with chartreuse. Because I'm going to put my cornstalk there, I will like bring the line all the way there, so it's not floating. So what I'm going to do is I just, whoops, gonna take, like that's the darkest one, so olive green, and do little grass. Do it like different direction and different length too, so it looks natural. I mean, unless it's a golf green, then I guess it's all the same, but I don't have that in my yard. Onyx. And then with chartreuse. So like with all 3, I just gonna do the grass. And with the lightest one, I always like try to do like, I always do like longest one. It's like the wispy one. So that's the coloring done. What I'm gonna do is with a white pen, I add in the pig a tiny white dot in each eye, and I will too in his eyes, just like that. So the coloring is done. If you want, I can show you what I do for the sky with the watercolor. I don't know if anybody's interested. Just a why or no is okay. Because it's, I know that you don't have your watercolor with you. Like it's probably either you don't have any, or it's like with when you did the lesson yesterday afternoon with Melanie. But it's just a little thing. Yes. Okay. So I'm just gonna zoom out a bit, and I'll usually have a hard time zooming out, so just give me. Wow, that worked. Do you have the numbers for the grass? Yes, I do. It's 911, 1005, and 989. Whoa. Did I? Oh my, I didn't put that either. Oh my gosh, I really flaked out there. Like completely. Wow, that was bad. But any grain, it doesn't really matter, honestly. The grain, just pick 3 grains and it's good. So what we're gonna do is, I just have like, anyway, like a ceramic plate. On to the side, I have like water. And that's just a brush. It's a big brush. I think it's a number, actually it's a number 10. It doesn't really matter. Like whatever one Melanie is using is fine. I'm just gonna make sure that you can see the little guy. And I have like little, like they're all little thingy, whatever. And then I squish the ink, the watercolor in it. So what I'm using, so you can see, I'm gonna use, whoops, the right side up would be good, phthalo blue, because I'm pretty sure you used it with Melanie. So it's a color that if you did that class, you have. Sorry, I'm making a bunch of noise here. And it's actually already on my palette here. So what I need, because I don't need a lot, is just, I just put water on my paintbrush and I just re-wetted it. So I usually use a lot the same color because it's always background. So I leave it there and I just re-wetted it. So phthalo green. And I want it kind of like really light. So I put a lot of color. I could, like, there's 2 different ways. I could put water first and then put the color. But because it's so watered down, what I do is I just like put it there. And because I know it's like kind of like waterproof because of the pencil, I don't really care that I don't wet it before. And that if it goes a little bit over it. So basically, like you can see, it's not very complicated what I'm doing. I'm just slapping some really watered down blue on there. Trying to go as close as possible because otherwise it does like that white line and I hate that. You can go totally over the grass because like it's waterproof, so you're still gonna have that grass at the end of the day. And if you go over it, like over your image with the blue, what you can do is you just like wipe down your paintbrush, like, and put clean water or like, or barely any water, and then you just go like that and remove it. Well, actually I had it on, but because see how it's like, anyway, it's really waterproof, so it's awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna stop screwing around with his hat here. So I'm gonna go do the other side. So I just do the same way. Oh, and I totally forgot to do his wheat stack in his mouth. And if you want, you can do like the technique that Melanie does for the cloud and everything. You can put as much or as little detail as you want. And if you think like the edges are too dark, like, or too stark, you just add more water and fiddle with it. Like Melanie would be like much better at explaining all of that. I just do it because it's easy and quick the way I do it. But like I say, I really certainly don't have as much detail as Melanie. I just think I have like, when your hat is starting to turn green, it's because you have blue on top of it. So that's pretty much it. So really not complicated. And if you want, like, you can add like darker color and do like kind of like air current or whatever, like have a little bit more dimension. It's watercolor, so you can just play with it. So I just gonna, like, that's just a little bonus, so I'm just gonna stop with that. And what I forgot to do, I just have to find my pen again, and obviously it's the little one. I use, that's goldenrod, and I just gonna put it, oh gosh, it's really, I'm at the crazy glue here, it's not working. So I'm gonna use the second color, a yellow ochre, it doesn't really matter. I just go over it, just to put it some color, just like that. So what you want to do now, I'm just going to put all my watercolor stuff somewhere else, is you want to take your, well, obviously you would wait till your watercolor is done, and you just cut around the pin. I do leave a little bit around because otherwise it's going to be just too fragile, so just leave a little bit. And that line that you already did, you just cut till that line. And if you followed the other class or any of my live, I'm the worst cutter ever. I hate it. But I think it's the fact of being left-handed at my age. Like, we didn't have left-handed or ambidextrous scissors, so it always sucks so bad cutting. And then I just followed the line. Like that. And I guess I need all my concentration just to cut. It's very sad. There we go. Not cheating at all. There we go. Good enough. Okay. Okay. Whew. Worst part done. For me. Okay. So what you can do, you can totally put stickles around the edge of here and then wait till, oh my gosh. Oh, I was wondering where was my pattern paper. It's full of stickle, like it's dry now, but you can put stickles around it or don't, you don't have to. If you have a red piece of paper, you can glue it on. Or like I say, you can totally go around just like that. Try not to put any on your fingers and then put it on your image. That would totally suck and ruin like an hour and 40 minutes. Just like that. Here, you don't want any on the fork, the pitchfork. So you can just like kind of fold it or something. Not fold it like to make a line, but like just like that. Just like your fork when like the one you're eating with and it's like wrong, the angle. So you just like fold it a bit, same. So you have that little bit of red around. And put back your fork. I'm gonna go get my paper that I put stickles on. And here it is. So what I do like putting like ribbon around my things. So, or twine or something. So what I do is, I know I want to put it, it's going to be around like here. So what I'm going to do is just going to like flip it around, and I'm going to put glue. Whoa, sorry. I'm going to put glue on each side so it sticks. And I turn it I usually do 3 turns all the time. So I just put one end in the tape. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. And I like it when it's not equal also. For some reason, like it's tighter on, like it's tighter on one side. So what I do is I just go like that. And then go like they're tighter in here. And like that. But you can, I mean, you can do it obviously any which way you want. Just like that. So I have it like all kind of squish on one side. Ah, my finger's stuck. And then like that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut the extra piece that I don't need. And to glue it, I just go all over again. So my twine is like kind of like has tape on top and at the bottom. So I know it's not going anywhere. You can use glue, but I think it would be harder. Okay, so now I, remove the cat hair and center it. It's always easier to center if you like stand up, just like little tip. And see how like that's much thick, like it raises a lot with this. So we're gonna use a dot, like a tape or whatever. Actually, what we're gonna do first is we gonna put all the decoration. So how I did it, whoops, the other one is here. Whoops. Anyway, here. So I did put this here. I'm not putting the stickle just so like, because usually I would have to put stickles, put it away so it dries and then like glue it. And it would take too long. So now I have the cornstalk and I put it here. And it's okay if it actually stand out, like if it's not completely on your paper. Just gives it a little bit of personality. There we go. Like that. Then, oh gosh, the little dots. Whoops. Oh my. And you know what? The blue one is going there, or I mean, you can put it anywhere you want. And then what you need to do is you just put it on top. But when you put your like tape, you want to make sure that you don't put any that's gonna go over this, because otherwise what's gonna happen, it's gonna be all wonky. I will put it on this just because, especially I put water, so it's like a little bit wobbly. So I will put the red, but you don't have to if you don't have any. You can certainly do what I just did, like around it, and it looks really nice too. But it's just to give me a little bit more structure. Then obviously I would have put like the dots and the stickers like after gluing it, but hey, that's okay, it still work. Just like that. And then like a safe bet is just to put these at like the 4 corner, and you know you won't have the twine under it. Oops, I'm totally off screen there. We're almost done, almost. There we go. Then center, or not really. And just put the blue dot here, and you're done. So that's your little card that you can have like a slim line and finish off with a little card. I most time when I do little cards is because I have so much left over like from the slim line. So I hope that you learned something, or if you didn't, that you had fun anyway. So that's little Lucas with his pig in his cornfield. So have a nice rest of your weekend. And as you can see, like they're not even like colored exactly the same, and that's fine, right? So have a good day. I'll see you. Oh, thank you, Jill. Thanks, Marianne. Thanks, everybody. So we'll see you another time. Bye.